Welcome back, and joining us on the show now is Himanshu Agrawal. He's MD, Satyam Balajee Group. Himanshu, hi, thank you for joining us on air. The month of August has seen rice prices continue to surge up in the international markets. We've seen a 15-year highs as well, and this is after India banning export of broken rice and non-basmati white rice as well. While there have been conversations about increase in export duty of parboiled rice, that is something that the government as of now has refuted on. But what's your sense on the international scenario first?
Hi, Manisha. So the situation internationally seems to be pretty volatile. There is a panic situation worldwide. There are people discussing crisis as well because India was a global provider for rice in terms of numbers. If we talk, 40% of global rice was supplied by India. So all of a sudden, curbing down on the broken rice export last year and now the white rice, and the discussions on duty has really created a panic amongst the traders globally, especially Africa, which is pretty dependent on Indian rice on their day-to-day requirement. So markets, even our competitors, Thailand, Vietnam, Pakistan, all these countries have stopped trading because they want to see how Indian prices behave and what Indian government takes the stand, because there are also some shipments which are under discussion for white rice, for which we have LCs, which government has not yet agreed to release. So if that remains the case, and if there is any duty imposition on white rice, then globally we would certainly see a good 40-45% jump in the prices. And most of it has already been seen in the market in past few weeks.
Absolutely. Himanshu, what is the loss that the Indian exporters are making as of now?
Oh, it's catastrophic. I mean, the losses that Indian exporters are making right now is pretty intense, because we are sitting on cargo because all these bans, they come in overnight, which does not leave us any time to prepare for, to face these situation. So there are stocks that are being there on the warehouses and ports and all over the country, which is stuck as of now. So we are constantly in touch with the government, trying to find a way that at least these stocks are shipped, because these were contracted, and these, is a necessity for the country, especially, as I said, in Africa, where they're completely and utterly dependent on Indian rice exports.
We also do understand that Singapore has put out a statement as well, seeking exemption from the kind of export bans that India has. I'm assuming there are other countries doing that as well. So are you looking at those conversations too?
So basically, all these developed countries like Singapore, Europe, and America, they're looking into the Sona Masuri and these premium white rice, which the Indian community living abroad has been dependent upon, or I would rather say Indian subcontinent, contingent is dependent upon. So they are seeking exemption from these. So we have been speaking to the government. There is a dialogue happening in which we put in a minimum export price for such varieties, so that at least the Indian, there's a big Indian diaspora which can benefit from it. So because they're absolutely dependent, because as you know that, I mean, Indians are they cannot really eat any other variety than what they have been eating for so far. So that's what we have been discussing with the government as well.
All right, time to change, isn't it? But having said that, Himanshu, how are you looking at the Indian markets also? Because we're looking at a good sowing number as compared to last year. The government also has increased the procurement target for 2023-24. So clearly, government looking to buy more from the Indian markets from this Kharif crop.
Yes, given the election year, that's what we anticipated, that there would be a big buying happening from the government to please the farmers. And FCI is sitting on a good 650 lakh tons of grains as we speak this moment. The sowing numbers is very satisfying. We see that it's been up by almost 6 to 7%. And we also see that, we would... if these sowing numbers convert into the real harvest and we see the numbers as is projected, then we would see government softening their stand on export, and that's what we are really, really hoping for.
All right. Thank you so much for joining in and giving us all those details. The one that stood out for me was that Indians will have to change their eating habits.
What rice do you eat?
You
don't know.
I wish I knew. I eat tasty rice. Let's put it that way. Rice is tasty. We take a short break, come back. We take focus away from rice and talk about markets itself. Stay tuned.